I'm a Texas A&M fan, this is the best I've felt about my team in a while. Like in terms of confidence and like going into a big game, what are you getting? The only other note that I had here is that this is starting to look like Elco is a perfect fit.
Welcome to Saturday versus Sunday. I'm John Barbin. With me is Jeff Dover, and let's talk football.
We're a couple of average football fans that watch college, the NFL. We hope to earn your like and subscribe today. This is our review of a Texas A&M LSU football game. What are your initial thoughts?
Is A&M the best team in the country?
I mean, they're rounding into form right now, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Like I don't think anyone would want to, and it's not that they're like, they completed 12 passes, okay? Which
49 points. I don't throw a pass at all if you can do it without passing.
I get that, but it's just going 12 for 21 for 202 yards, like in 2 interceptions, like but it just didn't feel like that. It felt like a complete game win, and it felt like they were so much the better team. And even though it was 18-14 at the half, like for LSU. And it still felt like Texas A&M, though, was just sort of still playing better or like a better team. I don't know. It was hard to explain, but did it get ugly in the second half?
Well, okay, so you get a punt. What do they get? A punt return for a touchdown? Concepcion?
Yes.
So that mattered. And another long return by him to set up a short field for another touchdown. So there's some of your there's some points that don't show up on the box score for passing or rushing, right? When you get a kick return and a short field.
Right.
So that's some of it. And then, that run game, I'm sure every coach would like to just run for 350 yards and never pass the ball. It's a way less stressful way to play if you can just run over a team.
Right.
So, 224 on the ground and 202 in the air. You'll take that. You'll take that every single day.
Yeah, no, really balanced, and it was really the defense was the point of the game here, right? Because they had 7 sacks and 11 tackles for a loss. Like, so that was, and LSU didn't look comfortable like the whole game on offense. And I think Nussmeier is still banged up. I think he's still struggling with some sort of injury, but I'm just surprised they were up 18-14, and it got so ugly in the second half. I don't know if it was Elco's halftime adjustments or what they did, or if the LSU's defense was too tired or something. Like by the time we got in the second half, but the time of possession wasn't significantly different. It was like 30 minutes to 29 or something like that.
No,
but it must have been, I don't know, the halftime adjustments or something. But it was a completely different thing, and it got so ugly. Like there's people leaving the stadium and booing. Like it got bad fast.
Oh yeah. So my notes here have the end of second quarter A&M disaster. So they miss a snap. So Buddy Boy snaps it. Reed's not looking. Nope. So I think the center was wrong on that one.
Yes.
Then they get a blocked punt for a safety. And did you notice when they pan over to Elco and he's like, no one even touched him. Like he just came straight through untouched.
Near, like in the middle, like, which is
right up the
really
middle.
Not good.
Lucky it rebounded so hard off his hand, it went through the end zone and they couldn't fall on it for a touchdown. Mm-hmm. So you just get a safety. Then, and then after that, they get them on third down and out, but then they get a dead ball foul out of bounds, which gives LSU the ball back, and then LSU gets the touchdown off that. So it's a complete unraveling there.
Yeah,
and I thought, here we go. A&M going to do an A&M thing where this is the perpetual 8-4 team, hyper talented, rosters through the roof, and they're just going to blow it. And then they come out in the third quarter and just completely steamroll LSU.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point in the second quarter because they had a safety, LSU punted, then there was an interception, Texas A&M, LSU touchdown, Texas A&M interception, and then LSU field goal, right? So that's where it really felt like the 8-4 Texas A&M can't get out of their own way. But oh my goodness, did that change in the second half? They came out, touchdown, opening drive, LSU 3 and out. The touchdown, another Texas A&M touchdown at that point. So that was amazing.
Oh yeah, I didn't even get to that part. He throws a pick in the end zone.
Yeah, which is
and
an
the other one
killer.
is I think Perkins like tips it and then catches it, right? So so it's a complete and utter meltdown in the second quarter, but it doesn't translate into a massive lead. It's a lead, but it's not, it's not an insurmountable one. And then, but like we talk about the middle four, the middle eight, winning the middle eight. Well, LSU won the first half of it, and holy smokes, A&M won the other half of the middle eight. And just, I've never seen anything like that. They go, 28 points in a row? Do they go 35 in a row? Whatever it is, they just keep scoring. They come out and scored 3 TDs in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I think it's 30. I think it's 35.
It's unbelievable how bad this unravels. I don't even know if there's an explanation for it. I mean, obviously, if you watch this game, you saw the whole thing just fall apart right in front of you. From an LSU standpoint, they completely folded. I actually have a note here. It looks like they quit in the fourth quarter.
It does. That was part of the thing of how ugly it got in the second half, because it was, again, they were leading at the halftime. Like, this could have been a competitive game. Like, this is so different than the Ole Miss Oklahoma game. Like, go back and listen to that review if you haven't already. We did a review because that was a great game, Ole Miss Oklahoma. But this was LSU was up at the half, and it wasn't tightly competed in the second half at all. Like, and part of it was Texas A&M blowing them out. But like you said, it was LSU looked like they weren't really trying. And then he pulled the starters at the end too, like which you should do at that point, especially since Nussmeier's probably banged up or something. But like, it was a terrible, terrible look, like in how it ended there.
At one point, it looked like Nussmeier couldn't get up off the field unless someone picked him up. He was getting the shit kicked out of him. And this is a recurring theme. So what's the story here? LSU's offensive line is a complete joke. They just can't block anything. They're just
passing
a mess.
or running. Like,
they can't pass block. They can't run block. They cannot protect obviously, by definition, that means they can't protect Nussmeier. He's just getting beat up. You could say he looks like he's regressing, but I don't know how you can progress when all you're doing is running for your life. There's just nothing. There's nothing you could do behind a line like that.
No, this kind of reminds me of Sam Darnold when he was at the Jets. Like, it's not a good team. There's, you're seeing ghosts out there. Like, it'd be hard not to. Like, there was one of the sacks where the guy just came free and leveled him, and like it's hard to shake that off. Just keep going like that, and looking downfield for, like it's so when you can't run the ball and your QB's getting killed, like that's part of the reason why this got so ugly. Because it's not only like, it's one thing to be blown out, like it happens, like Florida got blown out, like lost LSU because he had 5 interceptions. Like, it's just like that. But this is how they were getting killed, was really bad. Like, multiple sacks, couldn't run the ball. Like, it was really rough.
And you're getting run over.
Yes.
Like, on the other side of the ball. Like, that is a physical, demoralizing game. It's the most demoralizing game, obviously from the losing team standpoint, when you can neither run the ball nor protect your quarterback. And 7 sacks is just the ones they got to him. He's getting hit constantly.
Oh, yeah.
He's getting pressured and hit constantly.
No, and think about this. This was a Texas A&M blowout win in the second half. Super ugly. Fans leaving, booing. And Texas A&M lost the turnover battle 2-0 and had more penalties than LSU. And despite that, this is how bad they won.
So, okay, did you notice the crowd sounded like there was a lot of A&M people there? Like,
yes.
It was loud when LSU was on the LSU's offense was on the field. There was plenty of noise in that crowd, in favor of A&M as well, which is, I don't expect that in that stadium ever.
No, I don't. If anyone who's listening, if you put in the comments, if you're at the game, if that was true, but it absolutely looked like that, and it looked like that at the end of the game when a lot of the LSU fans left, and there was still like a decent amount of people there, and it was all Texas A&M fans, right? So, yeah, that was
this game towards the end of the game looked like LSU just doesn't have the personnel to keep up with A&M. It just looked like they're just not in the same conference. Like, A&M is the big dog, big conference bully, and LSU looked like the sort of the middling, is this like a Mountain West team or something? Like, after a while, that's what it kind of looked like when you can't stop the run at all. You can't You can't protect your quarterback. You can't run block. There's just kind of nothing you can physically, you just can't do it.
Yeah.
And it's not scheme. You just don't have the personnel to keep up. That's actually what the second half looked like. The run game was so violent from A&M.
Yes. Oh, for A&M was,
No, A&M's run game was just so violent, and it was just working. Like, it just worked. And Reed went for 108 yards, which is a major part. He did this to them last year. He ran over them last year. Clearly, whatever it is that Reed does and the way that offense operates with him, LSU has zero answer for it. Okay, fine. They're missing weeks and some pieces. Everyone's dealing with injuries at this point. That's not an excuse. And you're really telling me if Weeks was there, all of a sudden it's not 49-20? I mean, okay, then that means that he's the greatest linebacker in the history of linebackers, if that's the case.
Well, and Texas A&M has a lot of running options. They had 8 people get a carry. It's in the broadcast they were talking about there's 4 running backs that get regular carries. Like so the people are fresh. You can rotate them through. They're all pretty different, but they're all effective. Like, it was the average. All of them averaged 5.5 rushes per carry, except for one guy who had 1 carry or something like that. But that's super efficient. If you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people have 5.5 yards per carry or more, that is really a well-rounded run game.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're just way better than them.
Really shaping into form now.
Yeah.
This is the best they've looked all season.
Okay. And so Marcel Reed, to me, coming into this season, was a bit of a question mark, because last year he came in and he showed some flashes, but for the bit that we saw him last year, for however much he played last year, it seemed like, okay, is this more of a limited passer, but mostly a runner? But now he looks like he's definitely improving game over game. And so right now, who would you take in a 1-game winner take all over A&M in the country?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Bama, but I mean, that's about it. At a neutral site, I don't know who would be favored there, but yeah, that's about it.
I'd put him up against anyone right now playing like this. And it's just they have weapons all over the place. Oh, gee, and that guy, his name escapes me. That one-handed. Was he the one who had that one-handed stab catch?
No, that was someone else. He was really good.
I mean, there's just talent all over the place. This is for years now, for 2 or 3 years now. This is what people were hoping A&M would become. And obviously they missed, I guess, on a few QBs who are now playing elsewhere. But they're all, most of those QBs are actually playing really well somewhere else too. But here we go. That, I guess, finally Elco and Reed and whatever their coordinators are doing on offense all seems to be fitting together here. They can put up points, but they can also win rock fights. So they can kind of do both, which is a sign of a really good team. Also, they survived a complete collapse. Now, you don't like the fact that they did collapse in the second quarter, but it is only the second quarter, right?
Yep.
And they responded big time. Another sign of a good team. Got stronger as the game went on. Another sign of a championship team. These are all A&M fans. You got to be ecstatic. Watch, especially there was this moment that the second half collapse, or the second quarter collapse, is the here we go again moment. And instead they just come out and blow their doors off. That's got to be such a good feeling for A&M fans to think, okay, maybe we've turned the corner. Maybe this is it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how you don't feel that. Because it was this quarterback's getting better as the season goes on. They've got an amazing defense and a very balanced run game. So that is a really good recipe to win a lot of stuff. It's still hard to win at LSU, and that's a big win. And but LSU really degenerated there in the second half. That was really rough. But yeah, no, if I'm a Texas A&M fan, this is the best I've felt about my team in a while. In terms of confidence and going into a big game, what are you getting? The only other note that I had here is that this is starting to look like Elco is a perfect fit for Texas A&M. We've talked about that before. Some coaches just have a good fit somewhere, and it looks like he's a good fit at this place.
Yeah. Okay. And speaking of fits, I don't know that Brian Kelly's going to be fitting in LSU much longer.
I don't know.
It's getting worse, not better.
It is. It's getting worse, not better, and it's really striking. We've said this about a couple other teams. We said this about James Franklin and Penn State. Like they had Nussmeier came back. He could have been an NFL draft pick. Weeks could have been an NFL draft pick probably. And they were coming back because then they would have a stacked roster to make a run to the national championship, and so to be 2-3 in the SEC right now and like 5-3 overall is a real collapse. It feels like. So it's going to be tough for Kelly to escape this.
Do you think he's going to get fired like in season?
I mean, I think if the next game's at Bama and it could be it.
They have a bye between now and then.
Yeah. So it might be it.
Big money again. Big money again. Bud Elliott on the Cover 3 podcast pointed out that if they have to get rid of him too and buy him out, it's the athletic director at A&M is technically inadvertently responsible for the two biggest buyouts in
That's
like
good point.
over $100 million because he got rid of Jimbo. And his team being so good now might stimulate the getting rid of Kelly. So he sort of inadvertently is accounting for $100 million in buyouts.
Yeah, that's a pretty good point.
But yeah, it's. I mean, think about it. You had Jaden Daniels. You had a Heisman Trophy winner. Did that offense actually outscore the Burrow offense, or
I don't
was
know.
right there
That's a
with
good
it as the
question.
second highest, if not? Maybe it was. Anyways, you had that kind of
in
offense.
the ballpark, right? But two amazing talents at offense. Yeah.
Yeah, you had Malik Neighbors, you had Brian Thomas Jr., you have Thomas Robinson, the other receiver that's now in the Jaguars. Yeah, Thomas Jr. You have like serious talent on that team, and you just can't put together a complete team. And his whole reason I know this narrative's been said over and over again, but it bears repeating. He said he left Notre Dame to come to LSU because the story was he can't get the personnel at Notre Dame to win the national championship. He went there and got his doors blown off by Bama. So now he's like, I got to complete the task, and LSU's where I can get the talent. Well, in that last year, it seemed like Notre Dame was the one in the national championship, not your team. And now your team's getting worse. Now you've got 3 conference losses. You're on the outside looking. You're done. Like on the national stage, LSU is now an afterthought. They're not going to make the SEC championship game. There's no way they're getting an at-large bid for the playoffs.
Nope.
They're just that's it. They're off the board, moving on. And so what does that say about Kelly? It's and Elliott brought up another good point. Who's the quarterback waiting in the wings? Like
Michael Van Buren?
Is Van Buren going to be even better than like this? You said it. Nussmeier came back. This team came back went on a run to go on a run here, and instead it's all falling apart. So on that note, the 3 teams preseason who were returning quarterbacks, so Klubnik and Clemson, and a bunch of players came back. Drew Aller and Penn State and a bunch of players, both running backs should be in the NFL right now. A bunch of players came back there. And then here, Nussmeier and Weeks and a few other players all could have been in the NFL. All of them came back. They were we even said it in our preseason stuff. These are the quarterbacks with the most experience on national level teams that have all the resources to win a championship. They're all the ones that came back. Everybody else is starting a Ty Simpson and Julian Sayet, all the other big teams, Gunnar Stockton, all the other big teams are starting a guy who's
Texas.
Manning. Their first year, they've been on the team, but this is their first year starting. So you would just think, well, I'm probably going to go with the 3 experienced quarterbacks. Instead, they're all off the board. In spectacular collapses all across the board.
Normally, returning production, especially returning talented production, is a really good predictor of doing well, or is a predictor of being successful that year, because there's so much turnover, there's so much new people, new places, and it's shocking how low LSU's fallen, how low Penn State fell, like Clemson. It's really amazing how it's really unfortunate.
Yeah, and I was going to say I don't think it's NIL and parity. These were the 3 experienced QBs with the most big time game experience, and they just, I don't know. Not all 3 of them were fool's gold. I don't know. These teams just literally got worse. So
I know. Same with Florida State. Maybe you could put it that Florida State's 0-4 in the ACC and 3-4 overall now.
Yeah, but they weren't returning their own guy who's a national who's a
I'm just thinking about
draft pick.
No, you're right. I just think about that first win against Bama. All of a sudden, it's just a complete anomaly now. It's like that time when Ohio State lost the first game to like Virginia Tech, but then like ran the table, and it was just like a off game.
That might actually be what Bama is this year.
Yeah,
they just keep looking better and better.
Yes,
Simpson's so good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Jesus, arrows completely pointing up for A&M. As far as I'm concerned, that's the best team in the country, and I would put them ahead of Ohio State because Ohio State hasn't shown anything yet. What's their signature win? Texas. That's not a big deal. That's not a big deal at all.
Isn't. Yeah, 14-7 win over Texas doesn't feel like a big deal. The win over Illinois maybe a little bit less.
Nah, Illinois just got killed again.
It's possible that they're going to have at the end of the season like one team that was ranked that they've played, like
which was A&M or which was Texas.
Yeah, like that's
and Texas is not it.
No.
So I think shifting to OSU for a second, I don't think we know anything about them because their schedule turns out to be not much of anything.
No.
And we're going to find out about them maybe in the Big Ten championship game, which will likely be against Indiana. That's the first time we'll have a clue if Ohio State is anything at all.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they've just kind of beat whoever who's, no offense to Washington or any of the better Big Ten teams they've played, but we have I haven't watched, other than the Texas game, I haven't watched them at all because there's nothing to see. They're not playing against anyone who can really challenge them. And that's just the way the schedule unfolded this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what Michigan does with them. Michigan's getting better.
Mm-hmm.
But until even maybe that's the first time we'll really get an idea of how good Ohio State is. And I'm not saying they're not good. I'm just saying we have no good data point yet.
Yeah, I think if Ohio State played Indiana today, Indiana would be like a pretty moderate favorite. Like it would be like -7 or so. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't think it would. So
they'd have to because they have at least 2 better wins.
Yeah.
Right now. So anyways, so sorry. We're getting back to A&M. To me, best team in the country right now, A&M, and LSU. Wouldn't be surprised if Kelly gets fired before the end of the season.
Yep.
So I mean, geez. All right, you got anything else? You got all your notes?
Nope, that's it.
All right. So, if you're still with us, we appreciate you checking out the video. We know our channel's pretty small. We started it last year. So if you'd like what we got going on and you'd like to support us, a like and a subscribe goes a really long way, and we'd super appreciate it. So for Jeff Dover, I'm John Barbin, and that's your Saturday versus Sunday podcast.